Let me ask you a question. You know, with everything that's happening, all the changes with coronavirus, a lot of people in need. I think the one thing that people really need is love. But the love of God. Let me have you hear the words of Jesus, because there's a difference between fake love and real love. Here's what he says in John chapter 14, verses 15 through 17. If you love me, you will obey what I command. And I will ask the Father, and he will give you another counselor, another helper, to be with you forever, the Spirit of truth. The world cannot accept him because it neither sees him or knows him. But you know him because he lives with you and he will be in you. That's what he said, obviously, before he went to the cross, before he rose from the dead. But today I want to talk about the love of the Lord, what it really means to love him. You know, there's a lot of people talking about love, but listen to some of the passages that warn us about fake love. If anyone says, I love God, yet hates his brother, he's a liar. For anyone who does not love his brother whom he has seen cannot love God whom he has not seen. And some love just comes and goes. It's not genuine. In Matthew 24:12, he says, because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. Or in Revelation 2:4, where it says, yet I hold this against you, that you have forsaken your first love. That's fake love, as opposed to genuine, real love. Do you want to learn to love? In this passage we read out of John chapter 14, verses 15 through 17, there are 4 essential elements that we need to take into account if we're going to learn to love like Jesus loves. Do you remember the question that he asked? And this is the first essential element. Do you remember the question that he asked Peter? It says in John chapter 21, verse 15, when he had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Do you truly love me more than these? Yes, Lord, he said, you know that I love you. Jesus said, feed my lambs. Again, Jesus said, Simon, son of John, do you truly love me? And he answered, yes, Lord, you know that I love you. And Jesus said, take care of my sheep. And he answered, yes, Lord, you know I love you. Take care of my sheep. The third time he said to him, Simon, son of John, do you love me? And Peter was hurt because Jesus asked him the third time, do you love me? And he said, Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you. And Jesus said, feed my sheep. The first essential element about loving is you have to love the right person. You have to love Jesus. You have to love Jesus. Jesus said in John chapter 8, verse 42, if God were your father, you would love me. For I came from God, and now I'm here. I've not come on my own. He sent me. And so the focus is that we have to learn to love the right person. We have to learn to love Jesus Christ. I know it sounds simple, but it's true. We can go back into the Old Testament where people express their love for God. Like, for example, when King David said in Psalm 18, verse 1, I love you, O Lord. I love you, O Lord, my God. You're my strength. You know, it's good to love our brothers or sisters or our parents, and we should. God commands us to. That's a good love, but it's not the best kind of love. Jesus said in Matthew 10:37, if anyone loves his father or mother more than me, he's not worthy of me. Anyone who loves his son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So loving your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, that's good. But there's an even better love. And obviously the only reason we can love God this way, the Apostle John tells us in 1 John 4:19, we love because he first loved us. So the very first essential element to learning to love is loving the right person. Loving Jesus above everyone else and above everything else. That's where it starts.